I read this chapter of Rent-a-Girlfriend and haven't read a chapter since. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm the Average Otaku, and today I wanted to talk about the infamous chapter 218 of Rent-a-Girlfriend. This might seem like a random chapter of a manga, but everyone who's read Rent-a-Girlfriend knows exactly what chapter this is. Needless to say, there will be spoilers for chapter 218, but there won't be spoilers for the rest of the manga. Before I start talking about the chapter, I wanted to give a little bit of background to the manga. If you already are familiar with it, you can just skip to the next chapter of this video. So Rent-a-Girlfriend is an extremely popular harem manga, written and illustrated by Reiji Miyajima. It had a decent following, which led to getting an anime adaptation that really immensely boosted its popularity. The show was considered one of those fun trash shows, and it had many fans, including myself, waiting for each episode to come out. It also had a banger opening. Anyways, as with harem manga in general, there's always a lot of different girls that could end up with the MC. We have Mami-chan, Chizuru, Ruka, and Sumi. Of course, there's one girl that was very clearly in the front, Chizuru. Even people who haven't read the manga or watched the anime know who she is because she's such a popular character. She even was considered best girl of the season and to some best girl of the year. What can I say? The internet spoke and they said she was an S-tier waifu. She was clearly the one being set up to win. She was in all the promotions for the anime and the manga, and when you get to the actual story, she is the rental girlfriend. I mean, Reiji doesn't even try to hide the fact that she's supposed to be endgame. She has the most screen time out of all the characters, and the other girls are often in the background. Everyone loved her, and at the end of season 1, we almost got a confession between the main protagonist Kazuya and Chizuru. This of course got everyone excited, and they all moved to the manga to see the progress between them. And the manga had a lot of chapters out. It would take so many seasons to cover them, so people were really excited. The only problem? There were over 200 chapters and still minimal progress. Every time the relationship between Kazuya and Chizuru seemed to get stronger, and it seemed like a confession was coming, it never would happen and would end up back at square one. I mean, that's somewhat natural for harem manga, but it doesn't usually go on this long. I mean, 200 chapters are insane. I mean, most completed manga aren't even that long, and the ones that do have long arcs, a lot of characters, and complex storylines. This is a harem manga, it has none of that. Reiji just refused to put a confession and was dragging this on as long as possible. Fans were getting annoyed, and after the release of every chapter, they would voice their frustrations about Reiji not showing any progress. The thing was, as mad as they were, they would still read every chapter as they released, hoping there would be progress eventually. I started to hate the manga, but would read every chapter release. And after over 200 chapters and very little progress to show for it, Reiji released a chapter that would make some fans drop the manga for good. And that was chapter 218. What was so bad about it? Oh well, let me tell you. It was an NTR chapter. Yep, you heard that right. He added an NTR chapter to his own manga. NTR, in a very basic sense in anime and manga, is a term used for the main character being cheated on. In fact, you don't normally see this in manga. You'll see it in doujinshi that parody a manga. Normally this is done in poor taste, and this chapter was no exception. So this chapter starts off with Kazuya being down in the dumps after believing Chizuru dumped him, and he's just overreacting in general. He's trying to enjoy his time at a water park, but he keeps on letting these intrusive thoughts come over, and eventually he imagines her cheating on him. And how does Reiji show this? He has 8 whole pages of Chizuru hooking up with someone as imagined by Kazuya. It was really explicit, I'm talking 18 plus content, and came out of nowhere. I can't even show you guys these panels. Not just because I think this video will get age restricted, but because I don't want to subject y'all to seeing this. Honestly, it didn't even feel like I was reading the original manga anymore. So all these people who read the manga waiting to see Chizuru and Kazuya get together had to see 8 pages of Chizuru just hooking up with someone else. It's like Reiji doesn't even care about his manga or his fans. This is so unnecessary and didn't do anything for the plot. If anything, it kind of ruined some of Kazuya's character development. And up until this point, this manga didn't have anything nearly as explicit of this. Of course, as a harem manga, there were some suggestive things from time to time, but nothing nearly as bad as this. This isn't even considered an ecchi manga, it's actually considered a shonen. This is not the type of content you want out of a manga like this. This is just not the right audience. It honestly felt so wrong reading this, and just felt like a slap in the face for fans like me. I still find it hard to believe that this is a real chapter in the manga. Needless to say, fans were mad, and it was enough to make them just drop the manga overall. A lot of them are really holding on and waiting for the confession to happen, and this was just the breaking point. You powered through over 200 chapters and this is your reward. And honestly, this chapter could have just been removed and wouldn't have really affected the story at all. In fact, like I mentioned before, it kind of just hurts Kazuya's character development. It's hard to read a manga and care about it when it seems like the author doesn't care about it himself. I don't see myself continuing this manga after the chapter, and I have absolutely no regrets dropping it. Well, that's pretty much it for my video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what you think of the chapter, and as always, please make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you and bye.